Greetings, brave adventurers. Welcome back to the channel. Eric's UK here with another RPG a Day 2021, day 30. The prompt today being mention. And I'm going to take this opportunity to mention and tell you about the best games master that I have had the pleasure of playing under. And that would be my friend JP. Unfortunately, I haven't seen him for many years, much less played any games for a good while, but I do miss those days. JP came to our group back in the mid-90s, and he ran, to start with, a campaign of Deadlands, the Weird West. And in recent months I even found, look at this JP, my original little character booklet with all my little stats in it and all my notes, little character picture and all this sort of stuff, and even I would like to point out some handouts that you made, or I say he made, that we dug up from, I think, a grave or something in the campaign. And to get them looking like this, JP, I believe he said, he basically wiped them down with like a dry tea bag and then buried them in the garden for an hour. And we had an awesome time playing that particular game. I have a great many cool memories of that. I also, and this is where I think it really comes into the fore, have some great memories of a Call of Cthulhu campaign called Beyond the Mountains of Madness. Now, one of the reasons why JP is such a enduring legend in my mind was the man was a fantastic storyteller. Really immersive campaigns, lots of detail, character voices. I remember with Beyond the Mountains of Madness, if you don't know that particular thing, it involves a trip to the Antarctic to follow up on what happened in H.P. Lovecraft's story of At the Mountains of Madness. And there were numerous NPCs on board this boat, on this big icebreaker, and we knew who we were talking to based just on the way that JP would do their voice and their mannerisms. And I've never had a GM who could do anything like that before. You kind of pick up a few here and there, but to have a cast of dozens and dozens of NPCs and you know who you're talking to, just by that is incredible. And the way JP would describe the scenes and the horror of the Cthulhu mythos was second to none. I even remember he had a, we had a opening theme, which was something that we've done a few times in the years since because JP started it. I believe it was a piece of music from the second Indiana Jones film, Temple of Doom, and he would play this at the beginning and do like a little voiceover narration of who played who and which was our guest star actor who would play the role of a major NPC. And it's something that we've done now, and as I say, now and again in the years since. But it started with JP. The third major campaign was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, bear in mind that I was not a Buffy fan. Much like, say, Harry Potter, it took me a long time to warm up to it because people used to go on and on about it, and that kind of turns me off when people do that. But I agreed to play this campaign because, you know, I'm not going to turn down any sort of role playing if I can help it. And I asked to borrow the DVDs, and he got me hooked to the point now that every other year I watch the entire run of Buffy. So much for not liking it or being a fan of it. But I thought we'll do this so I know what I'm getting into when I'm playing. And we played a campaign that JP wrote. Now I'm going to forget this. Based on Prince of Darkness by John Carpenter. Almost forgot it then. But instead of it sort of like being the spawn of Satan or something trying to come through, we dealt with an evil djinn, like an evil genie type thing. And we had this lengthy campaign. I think he had it planned out for like 12 or 13 parts. And we went, no, we want more. And he had to stretch it out over, I think, twice that in episodes. It took nearly a year to play, I think. And again, it was great. JP was able to do the mannerisms of the characters from the TV shows, perfectly. He even had us have a tie into Angel. We ended up going to Lorne's bar and made us do karaoke. We had to get up on stage and sing. It probably won't make a lot of sense if you haven't watched Angel. When JP ran a game, you were quite deeply immersed in the story. NPCs are always fantastic. So the descriptions, I would go so far as to say that playing under his GMness, I picked up a lot on how to tell a story in a role-playing game. How to describe things better, how to, perhaps even to an extent how to run my NPCs better. Those campaigns were some of the highlights of my gaming in the last 30 odd years. I've never had a GM in that time as good or as prepared as him. And one day I really hope that I get to play another game under his esteemed GMness, and I just hope this time the dice will roll better in my favour. Out of all the people that I have gamed with and all the GMs, he was the best, and I have some good memories. Anyway, first off, thank you, JP, for those memories and for those games. You, sir, are a star and a gentleman and a scholar and an acrobat. Thank you, everybody else, for watching. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We've got one more day of RPG a day to go, and then it's all like back to normal. Until then, though, take care, guys, and good gaming.